I'm Dr. Michael Harrison, and today I need to share something that could genuinely save your life. If you're over 60, the way you shower each morning might be putting you at serious risk, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this. In my 40 years of practice, I've seen far too many patients end up in the emergency room, or worse because of something they did every single day without a second thought, taking a shower. Now, before you think I've lost my mind, hear me out. This isn't about hygiene or telling you to stop bathing. This is about a hidden danger that affects millions of seniors, and almost no one talks about it. The medical community calls it post-shower hypotension, and it's responsible for thousands of falls, fainting episodes, and yes, even strokes every single year. But here's what I want you to understand right from the start. This is completely preventable. Once you know what's happening inside your body and why, you can protect yourself with simple changes that take less than 60 seconds. Before we dive in, I want to be clear about something important. While I'm a physician sharing evidence-based information, this video is for educational purposes only. It's not a substitute for personalized medical advice from your own doctor, who knows your specific health history, in under a minute. And when blood pressure drops, less blood reaches your brain. That's when you feel dizzy, lightheaded, disoriented. That's when your vision starts to blur or darken around the edges. That's when your legs feel like they might give out. Research from the American Heart Association has shown that this type of orthostatic hypotension, which is the medical term for blood pressure drops related to position changes and temperature shifts, affects up to 30% of adults over 65. 30%. That's nearly 1 in 3 seniors dealing with this, and most of them have no idea what's causing their symptoms. Now here's where it gets even more concerning, and this is the part that connects directly to stroke risk. A study published in the journal Circulation found that individuals with orthostatic hypotension have a significantly higher risk of stroke compared to those without it. The relationship is clear. Repeated drops in blood pressure, especially the kind that happen with hot showers, can stress the cardiovascular system and contribute to serious events over time. But let me explain specifically why the shower environment creates such a unique stroke danger. When your blood pressure drops suddenly, your brain doesn't just receive less blood, it receives less oxygen. And when certain areas of your brain are repeatedly starved of oxygen, even briefly, it can damage the delicate blood vessels that feed those regions. Over time, this damage accumulates. The vessel walls weaken, plaques become unstable, and one day what should have been a routine morning shower becomes the trigger for a transient ischemic attack, what we call a mini-stroke, or worse, a full ischemic stroke. I've seen this happen. I've had patients who did everything right with their diet and exercise, who took their medications faithfully, and still suffered strokes that could have been prevented if they'd simply understood how their daily shower was stressing their cardiovascular system. But I don't want you to be afraid. I want you to be informed, because when you understand what's happening, you can do something about it. I'm going to share 5 specific strategies that can dramatically reduce your risk. These aren't complicated medical interventions. They're simple, practical changes that anyone can implement starting tomorrow morning, and I've seen them work with hundreds of patients over my career. Number 5. Timing matters more than you think. The most dangerous time for a senior to shower is first thing in the morning, on an empty stomach, before having any fluids. Let me explain why this perfect storm creates such risk. When you wake up in the morning, your body is naturally dehydrated. You've gone 6 to 8 hours without any fluids. Your blood volume is at its lowest point of the day. On top of that, your cortisol levels, that's your stress hormone, are rising as part of your natural wake cycle. Your cardiovascular system is essentially in a vulnerable state, still transitioning from sleep mode to active mode. Now you add hot water to that mix, the vessels dilate, blood pressure drops, and your already dehydrated system doesn't have the fluid volume to compensate. This is why so many shower-related incidents happen between 6 and 9 in the morning. The solution is remarkably simple. If possible, shower later in the day, after you've had breakfast and at least 1 or 2 glasses of water. If you absolutely must shower in the morning, and I understand many people prefer to, then at minimum drink a full glass of water and wait 15 to 20 minutes before stepping into the shower. Give your body a chance to hydrate first. I had a patient, let's call him Robert. Robert was 78, a former engineer, very analytical mind. He'd been having what he called morning wobbles for about 6 months. His wife was worried sick. They'd been to 3 different doctors, had every test imaginable, and no one could find anything wrong. When I suggested he simply shift his shower to after breakfast and drink water first thing upon waking, he was skeptical. An engineer wants a more complicated solution, right? But within 2 weeks the wobbles were gone. Not reduced, gone. Sometimes the simplest interventions are the most powerful. Number 4. Temperature is your friend, not your enemy when you control it. Here's something that might surprise you. The danger isn't really about hot water itself. It's about the contrast. The sudden shift from your body's resting temperature to the heat of the shower is what shocks your system. Think about it this way. Your cardiovascular system is like an orchestra, and your nervous system is the conductor. When everything is working smoothly, the conductor gives cues, the musicians respond, and beautiful music results. But imagine if someone suddenly blasted the trumpets without warning. The whole orchestra would jolt. That's what happens when you step into a hot shower without preparation. Research from Kyoto University in Japan, where they've studied bathing-related health incidents extensively, showed that gradual temperature exposure reduced blood pressure crashes by up to 43% in seniors over 70. 43% reduction, just from changing how you approach the temperature. Here's what I recommend. Start your shower with lukewarm water, not hot. Let your body adjust for 30 to 60 seconds. Then gradually increase the temperature if you want it warmer. This gives your blood vessels time to dilate slowly, gives your heart time to adjust, gives your nervous system time to prepare. And here's a bonus tip. When you're finishing your shower, gradually decrease the temperature back toward lukewarm before you step out. This helps your vessels begin to constrict again, which actually supports your blood pressure as you transition out of the shower. I want to pause here and remind you of something important. I'm not suggesting you change any medications or treatments without speaking to your prescribing physician. What I'm sharing today may inform a conversation with your doctor, but any changes to medications or medical treatments should only be made under their guidance. These shower strategies are behavioral modifications that work alongside whatever medical care you're already receiving. Number 3. The 60-second ritual that could save your life. This is something I learned from studying longevity practices in Japan, where they've dealt with bathing-related health incidents for generations. In Japanese culture, bathing is taken very seriously, and so is preparation for bathing. The practice is called thermal preconditioning, and it takes less than 60 seconds. Here's exactly how to do it. Before you step into the shower, take a warm, damp towel, not hot, just comfortably warm, and press it gently against 3 specific areas of your body. First, the soles of your feet, 15 seconds, then the palms of your hands, 15 seconds. Finally, the back of your neck, 15 seconds. Why these specific spots? Because they're what we call high-density capillary zones. They have a tremendous number of tiny blood vessels, very close to the skin surface. When you apply warmth to these areas, you're essentially sending a signal to your entire circulatory system. You're telling your body, heat is coming, prepare the vessels. Think of it as giving your thermostat a head start. Instead of your cardiovascular system being shocked by sudden heat, it gets a warning. The blood vessels begin to dilate gradually, the heart starts to adjust, the nervous system prepares for the temperature change. I've had patients tell me this felt silly at first, standing in their bathroom with a warm towel pressing it to their feet. But when the dizziness stopped, when the wobbling disappeared, when they could shower without fear for the first time in months, suddenly it didn't feel silly anymore. It felt like freedom. This brings me to another patient story. I'll call her Dorothy. Dorothy was 81, a retired nurse, so she understood medical concepts, but she'd been having such severe post-shower symptoms that she'd started taking baths instead, and even then she was anxious. Her daughter had to be in the house every time she bathed, just in case. The loss of independence was devastating to her. She told me, I spent 40 years taking care of patients. Now I can't even take care of myself in my own bathroom. We implemented the warm towel ritual, adjusted her shower temperature protocol, and added the breathing technique I'm about to share with you. Within 1 week, Dorothy called my office, not to report a problem, but to tell me she'd showered alone for the first time in 8 months, and she felt